G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to Writing Corner. I'm your host, the author, David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood of Cade, Power Games, and Into the Owl's Mound. Before I begin, I'd like to remind you that this channel is sponsored by you, the viewing audience. So please like, share, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I know on X, the share button's on the top right. It's a little up arrow above the tray. Really stupid icon. Why can't X follow everybody else? They always have to be different, don't they? But that's the way it is. There's no heart either on most broadcasts. So you just have to, after the show, click my profile and you'll find the link tree. But for the rest of you, like, share, and subscribe. The links are in the description below. Consider becoming a patron. I really need your support. Okay. Got to share out X, because you can't do so until after you go live. It's annoying, I know, but it's what it is. I don't have. I'm really annoyed. Oh, Rumble. With Rumble particularly, it's annoying that they don't get the. I don't know if it happens for everybody, but I've seen a lot of people not get the proper thumbnail for their videos or their posts. Starting to get annoyed again, Elon. Fix things. All right. All right. Now, full list of strengths and weaknesses is on my Patreon. Sorry. Full list of strengths and weaknesses is actually on my Patreon, and the link will be in the description below. So along the way, when you're writing, you're not going to show every character's personality, but you should show a full spectrum, or at least some strengths and some weaknesses of your main character. Should see them at their best and sometimes at their worst at some point. This is one of the interesting things about people. Personality traits can cut both ways. They're actually a strength and a weakness. What might be a strength in one situation could later manifest as a weakness. However, it's within our power to manage our emotions and influence the outcome. Now, a variety of strengths and weaknesses. Brave, weakness, reckless. Idealistic, as a weakness, naive. Funny, as a weakness, unserious. Confident, arrogant. Careful, timid, and so on. proud, vain, greedy, ambitious, greedy. You know, you flip, you find a strength, and you look at its antonym. You look at its opposite. Like a natural leader can be seen as bossy. Somebody who's realistic can be seen as cynical. And sometimes a lot of things go over people's head, and it's very hard. Like, I don't like writing simple. I do not like the cat in the hat. I don't write for 3-year-olds. I try to use and explore complex situations without battering you over the head, saying, "This is about racism," or "This is about sexual abuse," or "This is about the dangers of charismatic leaders," or "This is about hope and change in a meaningful way," or how deflation could be a D thing, or how aristocracy is not the evil, it's the gluttony, greed, and power of humanity itself. To explore complex issues, you have to use complex, subtle language. Yet, subtlety seems to be lost on most people, but hopefully, as we get more people to elevate their writing and more people thinking and more people reading, we can build better characters, more dynamic characters, because ultimately, do you want to write a good book, or do you want to write pulp that will be forgotten in the next business cycle? Or probably won't even make it to the next season. Fads come and go. We're seeing more and more the fads of the past, the great icons, all being torn down by people who are so selfish because they did not make it, they cannot make it, didn't earn it. And we see bad writing all the time now. Now, not every I'm not going to point to the accolade and say it's all bad writing because I haven't watched it all. But what I will say is that from what I've heard, and this is the worst thing you can do, is retcon your own work in your own series while you're creating it. And that your work is a retcon of a retcon of a retcon, which is plagiarism of the classics. They're a classic for a reason. No, hopefully more of you will actually try to be original, to write dynamic characters who have personality flaws, that their strengths are their weaknesses, and that the heroicism is overcoming their weakness to overcome their desires, their urges, to basically rip the throat out of their enemies when they have all the power in the world to squash the tiniest of the lowest of the low like a bug and not even think about it, not even flinch, not even think about it ever again. It was a casual thought, squash and move on without ever going back, without even not a glimmer of remembrance when it was brought up even a minute later. If you're that powerful, that power is a fear, a weakness. So when you're building a character, you don't have to do the 16 pages of all the likes and dislikes. That's gonna build change. Be dynamic. Be introduced to new things. To let the passé pass. Not to if your character's the hero, the leader, he is the leader of the pack. He's not the herd follower. Heroes forge paths ahead of them. They don't follow the trends. They don't go with the herd. They take a stand. They have a moral code. They have a set of beliefs. The best villains do not waver or falter from their beliefs. They don't sit down and tweet me, I lost my Death Star today. Hashtag boycott the rebellion. They don't form a little sisterhood and go off to the wilderness and live on their own and then die of smoke inhalation rather than go outside. As the stone building burned down again. Don't you question the narrative. The most toxic fandom in the world is also the most passionate. Their toxicity, they are passionate. That is their strength. They're toxic to their critics. See how strengths and weaknesses work, my friends. You can use them both ways. You don't have to go, what's his likes? Big waifus, what's his dislikes? Full frontal male nudity. That's acceptable. But you know what I mean, right? You don't need to have, oh, he likes cars, he likes girls, he likes beer. What else do boys like? Video games. You know, the whole range of cliches. Now, as much as I don't like Harry Potter, and I think he's a twat, and I think he was played by a twat, there was some good writing there. It's not the bad writing. It's the cliched characters, all the chosen one character narrative, all the high school cliches, all the plagiarism, 13 proven documented examples of plagiarism, all the free advertising that is laid out red carpet, the nepotism, the corruption, the belligerence, the, the uh, uh, and I've seen fans come and go. I mean, I know how most fans are built. I've watched them being built. George Lucas, his movie would have failed. He had one sitting, one he had Fox, the entire weight of Fox at the height of their popularity, burning down every article they could across the mainstream media. This is before the mainstream media turned against Fox. It's one of the last movies that was pushed. I think once Star Wars came to an end, that was it. It was the media really didn't pay much attention to Fox after that. The mainstream media as a whole pushed Star Wars. You couldn't pick up a newspaper. Yet as a kid, I was given an X-Wing and I was bullied at school. I was the only one in my class that saw Star Wars when it came out. I think most saw it later, 2 years later, when it was re-shown as A New Hope. Episode 4 was and a lot of people only joined the fandom later when and again, this is Star Wars games after Star Wars games. And this is what happens. Popularity builds popularity. I've seen Harry Potter build popularity, building popularity. But so many times does fake it till you make it not work. And there are literally hundreds of failed franchises. Who remembers the YA franchise fad? Franchise after franchise runner, Maze Runner, the brief flash in the pan that was, although it's still sort of lingering. There's some that made it big, The Flash in the Pan. I think the first movie did well, and it fell off real quickly. 50 Shades of Grey. Remember the big Twilight, the big movement out Twilight. Then I think the sixth book, she charged like $35 for it. 6 books. Okay, so she made it $100 million, but how much of that would not have happened without the media? If to be an independent artist is difficult, you're going to struggle. So you have to really do far better than any of the mainstream media characters. And if you haven't noticed in the last 20 years that the vast majority of successes have been big, beautiful brunettes, except for the occasional blonde, who are pushed time after time, and they're all insiders. There's only a handful of men. J.R.R. Martin was one of the few, and he's a Hollywood insider as well. It's a tough road. We have to support each other. And as popular and as tempting as it is, we can't get involved in the mainstream. They only eat us up and spit us out. Stop. There are going to be a lot of people promising you the earth. A lot of marketers going to stick their hands in your pocket. A lot of it's writing is becoming so pay to win. But unless you're a multi-millionaire, you're never going to keep up with the big boys. So do your best. And let's elevate each other. Personally, I'm not saying boycott the mainstream, but think twice before you pick up the book to somebody who's paid hundreds of millions of dollars to write worse than you, to write garbage tier that you don't even remember half the plot a week later. She even herself, half these authors, when they give interviews, they don't even know their own characters. Somebody's hiring ghostwriters, and it ain't us. So don't take the shortcuts. You know how long it takes to write the average novel. You know how long it takes to edit. You know it's a hard slog. But I tell you what, I feel proud to have written every single word, and I am proud to have had shown people my work. And I'm proud here today to try and help elevate you so that you understand, that you help create a better novelization, a better novel, a better 100%. Thank you. Thank you, Blush, over at X. Let's see, Blush, just give you a thank you for your comment. And of course, dang it, I can't. Where's your what? Where is the here we go. Blush, a book series. Check her out. Original material. It is erotica, short stories, written as a team. I, I appreciate your time with all the challenges and all the distractions you have in the world to take your time to watch this. So clear cut. I mean, nobody is that like. I would suggest about 3. You have most heroes will be strong-willed, brave. But bravery is misunderstood. Most people think it's just charging in blindly. No, bravery is fear management. It's cool, Blush. I just thought, thank you for your comment. I'll give you a quick shout out as a thank you for your comment. Not for your agreement, whether you agree or not. Thank you for your comment. And yes, you are agreeing with the conversation. Absolutely. Thanks for that too. Now, with your third, with heroes, the first 2 are really common, like strong-willed and fear management, right? Bravery. Your third, most people don't think of, and that is a work ethic. And as a writer, you have that. Okay. How many of you get up and slog even 10 minutes a day, 10 lines a day? Most of us do not write 50,000 in a month, or we can if we really hard pressed and cut a lot of things out. But those 3 traits, I think most heroes should have. And if you give your heroes too many traits, well, they have too many weaknesses. In role playing, normally when building characters, you'd get 5 strengths and 5 weaknesses. Because and when role players think of strengths and weaknesses, they actually think of, oh, he's good with swords. Oh, he can use his offhand to attack. Those are actually traits. Strengths and weaknesses, I am talking about personality. So thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope I've helped you elevate your art, and happy writing to all of you. And again, thank you, Blush, for your comments. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I noticed, Blush, you are following me already, and I am following you. Yes. So please consider supporting the channel, making a donation today, joining my Patreon. My article in full is on my writing Patreon. Please and thank you. Support the channel. My books are in the link tree along with my merch store and all my other links. Oh, we have a final statement. And I shall see you all in the next video. Whoops. Hold on. Oh, I can't reply on X for some reason. What's happened? I must have to do it manually, I guess. I don't know what's happened here. Again. Loading. Yep. Thank you, and bye for now.